A warm welcome, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the meeting number 37 of Advanced Ardent Speakers. For us to have a smooth meeting, I'd like to remind you that we will be recording our meeting today. So for those of you who would prefer not to appear, then you can turn off your camera. Do mute yourself if you're not speaking. And also we would encourage you to use the reaction button so that we can interact better with the speaker and with each other. And now I would like to hand over the meeting to our president, Mr. Sasi, to call the meeting to order and for us to hear and for us to have his opening address. Over to you, President Sasi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Louisa Chan. So today, once again, I would like to welcome all of you for today's meeting. And for today, I have a short story, or it's not even a story, it's probably a metaphor thing that someone have told me when few years back. I just wanted to share that with you all. So let's imagine you all have a small child with you and trying to help the child to go across a very tall, huge wall. Okay, so obviously what we'll try to do, we'll try to hold the child quite up and ask the child to get over the wall, right? But can the child actually go on top of the wall? That depends how much strength the child have. Let it be a boy or girl. Okay, so no matter how much strength we have, no matter how much we push them, they must have enough strength for them to hold the wall and to climb up over the other side. So I'm not saying it can't be done. It always depends. But on the other hand, imagine if you're already on top of the wall, how easy for you to bring the child on top. No matter what's the child's strength or weakness is, you can always hold and pull the child up, right? So that actually makes a lot of sense. And that actually, the reason why this person told me this is, he says, yes, you always can help people to develop themselves. You can push them harder to even the level that you haven't reached. Whether it works or not, it's very subjective. But for you to pull someone to your level where you have already developed, it's much more easier. And that made a lot of sense to me. That could be our personal life or even Toastmasters like mentoring. It makes a lot of sense, right? Once we achieve something, we are more comfortable to share our stories and to replicate that success to someone rather than we are telling stories of someone else or what we haven't achieved. It may work sometimes. I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong, but I think I'm saying which is more easier to do. So with that, I let you all ponder the message behind this, and I would like to call today's meeting to order and introduce today's Toastmaster of the day. This Toastmaster of the day is one of the most passionate Toastmaster I've ever came across. And every time she speaks, it's like a song. It's so nice to hear with her intonations and all. And she's also a great leader. She's also the one of the area director for this term. And with that, let me introduce Toastmaster of the day for today is Louisa Chan. Take it away.
Thank you. What a welcome for me, President Sasi. Everybody, today our meeting theme is I got my mojo back. And I would like to share a story with you. When I was about 20 years old, several decades ago, I remember after about 3-4 months at the office, I started to hear murmurings and word got back to me that, oh, Louisa, she tries to put on an accent. Louisa, can you see how short her skirt is? I never wore skirts above my knee. And at 20 years old, those words got to me. You know that line, sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words That never entered my mind. And that kind of thing got to me, made me feel so down. And I didn't have any friend to go for lunch with. And I told my mom I might resign. And this was like maybe by the fourth or the fifth month, I couldn't take it anymore. And one day, out of the blue, it came to my mind, what is my purpose going to the office? At that age, I said, oh, it's to earn a salary. With that, I realized that my purpose was to earn a salary. And if I could make a friend, bonus for me. If I couldn't, too bad. I still have my own clique, my own best friends, my besties from school. With that mindset, I started to enjoy my work. And with that thought, it got me and springboarded me to the other side, as how President Sasi talked about the other side. I got my mojo back. And with that, I want to encourage everybody to think about those times when how you got that light bulb moment, how it affected your life. That kind of talk, that internalization did something for me. And I'm sure it has for you also. Let's get on with our meeting today. And to start the show going, next up, I'd like to introduce our GrammAhrian, Fung Sook Hwa. Let's hear from her the word of the day. Over to you, Sook Hwa.
Thank you very much. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm serving as your GrammAhrian and art counselor for today. The word of the day is triumph. Triumph can be used as a noun, which means a great victory or achievement. And it can also be used as a verb, means achieving a victory, be successful. For example, spectacle has once again triumphed over content. So feel free to use the word of the day as much as you can correctly in your speeches. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Sook Hwa. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to let you know that today we're going to have a little tweak to our meeting. Now, what would that tweak be? We're going to have a panel evaluation, and besides that panel evaluation, we will follow up with open evaluation. And with that will be besides our regular table topics. And to start the show going, I'd like to now tell you who our panel evaluators are today. We have 3 evaluators. Representing the yays is Evaluator 1, Duncan Barr. And representing the nays, Evaluator 2, Min Poh. And our 3rd evaluator will be challenging our speaker, and he is Albert Khor. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our speaker today. She's at a point in her career where she's expected to lead from the front instead of from the back. Knowing herself and her dominant leadership style has enabled her to be outside her comfort zone and adapt to changing situations when required. She was enchanted by Leonardo DiCaprio from Titanic. And who is she? She is Cheryl Ann Tan. Over to you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Toastmaster Louisa. Who am I as a leader? This project got me asking this question. It's been a challenging one to answer because for the longest time, I struggled with the term leader. I did not see myself as a leader, but a follower. To me, a leader is someone who is visionary, result-oriented, charismatic, and an influencer. The aggressive, task-oriented, and the outspoken ones. I was none of those. Yet every year during performance evaluation, I'd get some feedback about my leadership behaviors. You're a good communicator, but you're not speaking up enough during meetings. You're not assertive enough. You need to be more consistent. All this feedback reinforced my perception that I was not and could not be a leader. My organization have had enough leaders and wannabe leaders anyway. So why couldn't they just let me be me? Let me be me. Who am I anyway? This will take a 3-hour coffee session to answer. Suffice to say, there are many layers of me, and I'm like a chameleon, adapting myself according to situations. I can't be put into a box. You can't be put into a box. But LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, any leadership workshop that you attend would require you to create a narrative of yourself, who you are, what your relevant experiences are, etc. I believe that self-awareness is the first step to understanding the type of leader you are. So if I were to be put into a box, I am an INFJ or an advocate based on the Myers-Briggs type indicator. My DISC profile is S&C, steady and compliant. The predictive index says that I'm an operator. I'm a peacemaker, helper, enthusiast for those of you Enneagram folks. I'm also a blue brain. I'm a dove. And according to this project, my primary leadership style is affiliative, followed by the other 7: coaching, altruistic, innovative, democratic, autocratic, pace setting, and lastly, bureaucratic. 3 characteristics of the affiliative leader. Number 1, emphasizes collaboration, teamwork, and harmony. Number 2, focuses on emotional needs and is best paired with the visionary leader. Third, motivates by creating positive personal relationships and avoids conflict. Wow, that is so me. When I reflect on my role as a Scrum Master and a team member of my project team in the past 3 months, and how I show up as a parent to my 4 children, I realize that yes, I am predominantly an affiliative leader. Because I'm an emotional and a relationship-oriented person, I tend to start any decision process, meeting, or activity by asking myself, how should I show up in this situation so that everyone here is happy? Now that I know what is my predominant leadership style, the next question would be then, am I an effective leader? What exactly makes an effective leader? Any team, organization, or country can rise and fall depending on how effective and capable their leader is. Think Russia, think the US, think Malaysia. To me, effective leaders are excellent communicators and display a high level of integrity. They are authentic, open-minded, optimistic, and lead by example. Am I an effective leader? Not yet, because leadership is not binary, but a spectrum. And I'm constantly trying to improve my leadership skills in my daily life. For example, trying to be present when interacting with others. Things go wrong all the time. I'm checking my phone, I'm thinking about what to have for lunch, but it's important as a leader to be patient with ourselves and to not give up, to stay on the road for the long term. Now I have a different perspective of what a leader is. Yes, triumph. It's not just the result-oriented, aggressive, and unspoken ones that are the right kind of leader. All leadership traits are correlated and interdependent. And having the right combination of leadership skills, prioritizing them according to situations, and aligning them to what your team and organization wants are crucial for success. Your circle of influence may be 1, 10, 100, 1,000. It doesn't matter as long as you step into your circle of influence and be the best version of yourself. That to me is what leadership is. Back to you, Toastmaster Louisa.
Let's give Cheryl a round of applause for that very brave speech. And to take things on to the next step, I'm going to invite Duncan Barr, who will be giving us and telling us about her yays. Over to you, Duncan.
Thank you very much indeed, Toastmaster of the day. Oh, let me get my earphone back in again. Yes, Cheryl, that was a great speech. Thank you very much indeed. I enjoyed it very much. Your job today was to tell us a bit more about your preferences in leadership style, and I think you triumphed very well in that role. And also one of the things I really liked about it was the way that you expressed the fact that you considered yourself to be a follower rather than a leader. And I think you are speaking for many people when you say that. I certainly used to look upon myself in the same way. I was a follower, not a leader, but I became a leader because I was given the job and I had to do it. And one of the things you said was, let me be me. I think that will ring a bell with a lot of people, and not only ringing a bell with people, it also matches up with a lot of the stuff that you read in the self-help books about becoming a leader or leadership styles. So yes, be yourself. And I particularly enjoyed when you said you were much more self-aware. You became self-aware, and also you became adaptable. And you also brought in a little strand here about being a mum of 4 kids. And I think that is excellent job experience, actually, because I've watched my wife, watched my mum, and yes, it really helps you to be a leader, I think, and becoming an affiliative leader. I never heard of that word before. That's a new one for me, but I understand now, yes, an affiliative leader, somebody who is actually influencing and putting it all together and leading by example. So I thought you got that across very well. And you mentioned at the end that you didn't see yourself as being an effective leader just yet. But based on what I've heard today, I think you will triumph. You will become an excellent leader because you are such a good communicator. So thank you very much indeed, Cheryl. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Or should I hand it on to the next evaluator? I think that is Min Poh, yes?
Yeah, Min Poh.
Okay,
yes.
Min Poh, all over to you.
Thank you, Duncan. Next, I would like Cheryl to improve in her speech delivery. I would say that I like your left side of the body movement, but you are inclined to move towards left side, and I can see most of the time you like to lean towards the left side of your face. So perhaps you think that is the best angle of the face that you have, but for us in an overall virtual background, it could be better if you could refrain yourself from just only inclining to a certain position rather than showing it as a whole. So that's where I notice you have is like left side of your physical posture. Another thing that I also quite notice that is your eye contact. I know that I'm wearing goggle glass. That's why you can't see my eye contact. There's a good way for me to hide, but during the speech, you're not hiding that as well. You tend to really reflect your speech by looking outward and also looking, how to say, really like just up and down. So that's why when I can notice that when you are recalling your speech, you are away from your camera, perhaps reducing the number of eye going away from the camera. That's where I would like to improve offer to you 2 ways of improvement. One is your eye contact and the other one is your body movement. Thank you. Over to you, Albert, challenging Cheryl. Yeah.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Min Poh. Cheryl, I am a fan of your speech. Today, you have displayed how you triumph in the knowledge of various personality style. You brought in so much material. You have the I think the one with the bird, the dope system, I think they call it, the Myers-Briggs, and all the leadership assessment that maybe many of us may not have heard of. I have heard of all of them because I'm a fan. So I'm really glad that you bring all of them on board. My challenge to you, focus. Because there were a few of these items that you brought up without a lot of explanation. For example, you mentioned Scrum Master. So members who are not really proficient with the agile system, they may not have heard of the word Scrum before. So you may want to mention like, what does the Scrum Master do? And how is it that being affiliative is so relevant to being a Scrum Master, which I agree, but I think the members here may not know the full background. So the other thing is that you have talked a lot about the focus on the things outside ourselves. For example, you briefly went on to talk about the current leadership and the current leaders in the world, but maybe I would advise you to focus on yourself. So you being an affiliative style, you have mentioned a little bit about it, like what is your style and what do you do in the office, but how does this impact your communication with others? You briefly touched on it in the beginning where you get picked on in terms of leadership during the performance evaluation. Where does it go from there? And how do you think that your current leadership style, does it help you? Does it not help you? So maybe I want to listen to a little bit more on that. That would have been a lot helpful for me to understand who you are, because that was the title of your speech. So I'd like to challenge you. Just one word, focus. So everything that you mentioned, the terms that you use, if you need to bring in jargons, please do explain them. But at the bigger picture, concentrate your speech on who you are, because I think that's what I want to know, who you are. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Louisa.
Very much, Albert, distinguished Toastmaster. Now that brings us to our open evaluation. And for that, I would like to call on our guests. And the first one I would like to invite to the stage I'll be calling on Servine and also Philippa. And before that, I would like to give one observation that I had of Cheryl's speech, and that was the pacing. I felt like it was a little monotonous today. So perhaps you could have gone a little bit faster and then slowed down at certain parts that you wanted to emphasize on, and also about pacing, your pauses. That's from me. And how about Servine? Servine, can we hear from you now, Servine? Okay, she's not ready. How about Philip? Okay, Servine, you're there? If you're able to turn on your video, that will be good. Otherwise, then that's fine. Are you ready to go, Servine? Okay, we're not having any, we don't hear you, Servine. Let me call Philippa first. Over to you, Philippa. Are you all right to go? Okay, no worries. From Philippa, how about to Faliq?
Hello, Louisa.
Hello.
Yes, hello, Cheryl. I like your speech. And I agree with the comments that have been given. The one in particular that, who are you? Because I think the focus on like whether your speech is towards yourself or towards us. So if you want to talk something to us, perhaps it should go direct that way rather than jumbled up. So we want to know something that we can learn from your leadership style. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and from Faliq, shall we hear from a member? How about Patricia? Okay, Patricia's not there. Yes, thank you, Patricia.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really felt a strong feeling of triumphant as Cheryl was sharing, because I thought right now we all really need to own our own leadership style and be not afraid to explore into it. On this note, thank you so much, Cheryl. I love your speech. Thank you. that makes me want to really understand my leadership style even more, because I feel I'm still evolving. So let's see what happened later. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you very much. And now, from that open evaluation, let's see what Cheryl thinks about the feedback that we heard today on her speech, Who Am I? Over to you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Louisa. And thank you, everyone, for your feedback. Duncan, for your encouragement and for pointing out the specific things that you liked about my speech. For Min Poh, for being a mirror to me. And now I realize I love to look this way, and eye contact is something that I need to be more aware of. To Albert, thank you for challenging me and for pointing out all those many ways that I could focus and avoid the use of jargon. And for the open evaluators, Faliq, yes, I think it was Faliq and Louisa. It was very deliberate that I went into a monotone monologue, reflective mode, but I think it could have been confusing. And also to Patricia, keep exploring your leadership style. I hope others also felt that the way you feel. Keep exploring your leadership style and keep going. Thank you, Louisa. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Now, we will be moving on to our next segment, which is the table topics. That's always a very exciting one. And to help us drive that, I'm going to pass the control over to our table topic master today, Herlina Mustafa. Over to you, Herlina.
Thank you, Louisa. Sorry for the minor glitch when we started the meeting. Someone came over to my place, so just I can do about it. But let's start with the table topics. We have this today. We have Wheel of Fortunes, but first, can we get the first speaker for the first one to participate in the table topics? Today is about I've got my mojo back. It's all related to that. So, a volunteer here? I saw Harizah. Harizah, do you want to be the first volunteer?
Yes, can.
Okay, because I just saw your name there. So what we're gonna have today is we have the picker wheels, okay? And I'm gonna spin the speaker wheel here, and let's see what will you get.
Okay.
Okay, this is what you get. Eat snack, okay?
Okay.
All right. So what is actually regarding that topic is, I saw my favorite snack on shelf, but I refused to buy it. I saw my favorite snack on shelf, but I refused to buy it. Over to you, Harizah.
All right, thank you, Herlina. Now, this is actually a topic that is very, very familiar to me. Okay, eating snacks and seeing things on shelves and I wouldn't say not being able to buy, but not wanting to buy it, because come on, girls, we are always on a diet, right? And we are always telling ourselves we should not buy that, okay, or we should not eat that, okay. But at the end of the day, we do. Okay, we end up eating it or buying it anyways, right? So what I do, right, if I do see something on a shelf, if I see something on a shelf, but I'm not going to buy it, why wouldn't I buy it? Because I always tell myself before going out for grocery shopping or any type of shopping, I would tell myself to eat first. Because the logic or the psychology behind it is that I've already eaten, I am not hungry, so I do not need to buy snacks, I do not need to buy food, I do not need to buy anything. So not anything to eat, okay? I will buy, but the downside of that is that if you don't spend money on food, you will start spending money on other things. And other things can include, for girls, shoes, shopping, handbags, clothes, and right now, lately, I think all the small gadgets, okay, all the offerings at eco shops, at Noco, at all the 2 ringgit shops, all the 5 ringgit shops. So at the end of the day, I tell myself, if I see something on a shelf, if I want to buy it, I'll buy it. If I don't want to buy it, I won't buy it. So over to you, Herlina.
Thank you, Harizah. I can totally understand that, girls, right? Oh, I forgot to mention that, please use word of the day, triumph today, and please include it in your speech as much as you can, everyone. Okay, I saw that Ummi has volunteered to be the second speaker. Okay, let me share the picker wheels again. Okay, Ummi, are you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's see what will you get. Your topic is about, wait, it doesn't stop. Okay, now it's stopping. Watch, okay. Okay, your topic is watch a movie just now. And what is it about? Watch a movie. I was watching a movie and I saw a glimpse of myself in one of the scenes. I was watching a movie and I saw a glimpse of myself in that movie. Over to you, Ummi.
I'm watching a movie and I saw myself in that movie. Have you ever watched Bridget Jones' Diary? I thought that film is so like me when I want to lose weight. Before that, previously, I was a chubby girl at university and at school also, and I heard a group of boys, they like wait, and then when I saw them, they say, "Oh, don't look at us, you are ugly, you are chubby." Wow, I think that was a turning point for me to start to lose weight, but it is a very difficult thing to do because we always like very passionate to lose weight on Monday, but during Thursday and Friday I give up. It's actually very hard, but because of the incident, I took courage to really discipline of myself. I bought a shirt that the one that I desire to wear. So I also enter a Biggest Loser challenge a few times at university, and also in the working place also. I enter that contest. So I think losing weight is maintaining a healthy body weight is actually for a lifetime. That's why we never stop not to stress about the weight, but actually to implement a healthy lifestyle for our better appearance, because the appearance is actually for our self-confidence. When we look good, we can fit the and relates to the movie Bridget, also in the same shoes, like one thing, always one thing, but she keep eating when she feels stressed. Okay, back to you, Herlina.
Thank you, Ummi. All the girls all the girls can relate to Harizah and Ummi today, definitely. Okay, the next participants is Faliq. Okay, let us see the pickle wheel first. Okay, let me go and spin it. Faliq, are you ready? Faliq?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, let's see. Among these four, which one will be chosen for you, yeah?
Okay.
Dance. Okay, dance. Your topic is moonwalk is the best dance ever. Moonwalk is the best dance ever. Over to you, Faliq.
Moonwalk is the best dance that I've ever seen. You see how smooth it was. It's just like his song, Smooth Criminal. And that particular move was made by an icon in the music industry, the legend Michael Jackson. I'm sure you have heard of him. And he has shown his triumph in the music industry. He has shown how he has transformed from A until Z. From whatever he has done, he has left something behind. And it's also something that people will always remember. What do you remember about Michael Jackson? You'll remember his moonwalk. I remember his black and white. And my favorite song is You Are Not Alone. He left me with that. You Are Not Alone. And the children's song, I don't remember what's the title. It was the main song used with the Great Eastern Insurance Company. And Save the World or Heal the World. So he has left something behind. So beside dancing with his moonwalk, he has left something that we can ponder upon his songs, the messages behind his songs. That something reflected on me when I think about myself, when I leave this world, what will I leave? What will I leave behind? If I leave this workplace, what will people remember me? If I leave this meeting today, what will you remember? I hope you will remember the good thing about me. So in life, we have to leave something behind. We have to make sure that people remember the good part of us and forget about all of our bad doings. So to do that, just do good, and people will always remember you. All right, back to you, Herlina.
Thank you. We have one more. We still have time for the first speaker. Is it Cheryl or Alif, the first speaker?
It's me.
Oh,
Give it to me.
okay. Then Alif, let's roll the wheel of fortune. Yeah, wait. Let me. I need to get it. Sorry, I just need to get the pickler wheels. Okay, now I'm gonna share the pickler wheels for you. And let's see what is your topic. Your topic is read a book. Okay. Actually, that is actually the what you did to get your mojo back. But then your topic is actually, when I was a kid, I do not like to read books. When I was a kid, I do not like to read books. Over to you, Alif.
Thank you, Herlina. So the topic is, when I was a kid, I don't like to read books. Yes, I don't like to read books when I was a kid. That is a truth. But now I have triumphantly successfully read books, but not the story kind, because I can't, for the love of God, focus reading storybooks for some reason. Harry Potter, The Witcher, all these fantastic fantasy stories, I can't seem to focus on them. The books I like to read are, for some reason, economics. The books that made other people cry themselves to sleep, or even in the spare time, I would like to read. Right now, I'm reading the book called Control System Engineering, because I graduated as an engineer, so I like to recall it little by little in my spare time so that I don't forget it. And maybe someday I will be a consultant, so maybe I will use this maths. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have work experience yet. So yeah, as a little child, back to Herlina topic earlier, I don't like to read. It's boring, and maybe I am dyslexic a bit, because when I read books, the words start spinning around for some reason, and I had to go to sleep. Maybe I am dyslexic. The words start spinning around, and I get dizzy, and I just has to stop. So maybe that's why I'm not good at Malay and English literature. With that, back to you, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master. Thank you.
Thank you, Alif, for your speech. I guess that wraps up our table topic session today. Now, before I go, we have 4 speakers today. So there is actually a poll that prepared by me. And now I would like to actually call up Sasi. Or is it back to our table, to the speak tab, Toastmaster of the day, Louisa?
Okay, you can launch the poll if you're ready, Herlina. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
already
see your
launched
poll.
it.
I see your poll. Thank you. We close the poll, Herlina.
Okay, I'll close it. We have already cleared winner, by the way.
Okay, all right. So how did we do? Our table topic speakers might be very interested to know how your feedback is going to be. And today that role is going to be filled by our President Sasi. Over to you, President.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. First of all, I would like to congratulate Herlina for coming up with a very interesting table topics today and gave a good challenge to our volunteers of table topic speakers. So first of all, Harizah, I saw my favorite snack on shelf, but I refused to buy it. One thing that you really did well was starting off your speech, giving the right context, because you wanted to put a clear direction. You did mention it's not about not able to buy it, but not wanting to buy it. So we know which direction you are heading to. You could have chosen either way, but you already set the direction so the audience can follow that. And you started with 3 good points. Why you don't want to buy, because you probably spend it for something else, or you want to lose weight because of your diet, and how you want to do it, because you already have your meals before you go for your shopping, and the benefits of saving that money. So you could buy other things from your 2 ringgit shop or 5 ringgit shop. Very, very well done. And if I may suggest, your conclusion, there was a bit like a U-turn in your conclusion. If I listen it correctly, you said the next time I see something, if I want to buy it, I buy it. If I don't want to buy it, I don't want to buy it. Instead, if you could have said, that is the reason I don't buy my favorite snack on the shelf, because I could have done all these 3 points, why, how, and benefits. That would have added strength to your 3 points. That is my opinion. And next, then we have Ummi. I was watching a movie and I saw a glimpse of my movie. So this is also very well done. You started answering the question, what was the movie? It's Peter Jones' Diary, and then you starting talking about lose weight, and it's your personal story. When you come up with your personal story, it's always it will always work well, because audience wants to know more about you. It's a kind of a inadvertent icebreaker. So I think you did very well, and I really love the message that you said and you conveyed. I think it's a very important thing, because you said losing weight is for health reason, for confidence reason, not for what others perception or what others think. So very well done. You also had a kind of a vocal variety when people trying to catcalling you, and how you responded and what was their response was. So very well done. Also here, for your conclusion, I would have appreciate or suggested, once you finish your story, and probably you try to relate back to the questions, and this is where I saw myself in the glimpse of movie and why. So that would have, unlike kind of going back to the questions and having a closure to the table topics. Next, we have Faliq Adeeba. Moonwalk is the best dance ever. I think you made a very good choice of your answer, because I think all of us in the room, when we say moonwalk, we'll probably think of Michael Jackson. So you did came talking about Michael Jackson, and then I think it's a relatable topic for all of us. So it's very easy for us to understand or relate. So very well done. And from there, you started to talking about how it was related to you, what was your favorite song and how much it means to you. And then you come up with a very timely message. Uh, it's not about leaving the planet, it's about what you are leaving behind. I think it's a very timely message to all. And for you, I don't really have any issues with your speech, but if I want to suggest for you to up your game, so probably in your content or how you structure, you probably can come up with, and what I'm planning to leave behind in this world is, these are the things. And how about you? What are you planning to leave behind the world? And if you end up like that, that probably have made a very big impact on your speech, or a better impact. So that was my suggestion to you. And last but not least, we have Alif. So when I was a kid, I did not like to read books. So very well done, Alif. You started talking about your childhood. It is true. You agreed to the statement, and you also made a good twist. But now you do like to read books, and it was a double twist. Even though now you like to read books, it's not storybook. It's the kind of books that no one expected from you. It's like your economics, your control systems engineering, and how it could potentially benefit to you. Very well done. And if I could suggest, probably instead of telling few other books, and then towards the conclusion, you also went back to say why you don't like it and why you're not good in BM and English, you could have actually probably try to pick up one thing from the control system engineer and develop that one thing more, talk more about control system engineer and how it could benefit you to the major part of your stories. Nevertheless, I think all the four of you all did very well, and all the best to you all. Back to your tabletop, back to your Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much for that uplifting and motivating feedback, President Sasi. Now, I'd like to pass the control over to Sukwa, our grammarian. Over to you, Sukwa.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, Louisa. Can I just confirm if you can see my screen right now?
Yes.
Thank you. So first of all, I would like to share with you the R counter report. I tried my best to calculate, and for President Sasi in his opening address, he did extremely well. And for the table topics evaluation, he has 9 R's being noted. For Toastmaster of the day, I think she also did an amazing job being able to speak with minimal R's, only 3 R's throughout the whole conduct of this meeting. Next up, Cheryl. She did not have any pause fillers noted during her project speech, but I have noted 3 errs and a few, I think, in the feedback to her evaluators. For Duncan, repeated words you, and there are many ands in his evaluation. Herlina, I did not note any. Congratulations. Harizah, repeated but, there are few, and all the, 2 okays, 2 R's. Ummi, in her table topics, repeated I's, 5 ums, 4 R's. Aliff repeated in the, and the rest that I did not mention, you do not have any pause fillers. For the use of the word of the day, congratulations to all these speakers for using the word of the day at least once. So if there are more, please apologize. I apologize for not being able to capture, but otherwise, congratulations on using this word. Excellent use of language. Louisa, sticks and stone may hurt my bones. I've got my mojo back. I love the team today. It's very motivating. Light bulb moment, internalization, and chanted by Leonardo DiCaprio while introducing Cheryl. Cheryl, while I always love her speech, it's a very beautiful speech, descriptive speech. So I try my best to take down as much as I can. All these feedback reinforce my perceptions. Let me be me. Who am I? I'm like a chameleon. Rise and fall depending on leaders. All leadership traits are interdependent and correlated. Be the best version of yourself. Min Poh, inclined to move towards a certain side. Ummi, chubby girl, turning point for me to lose weight. Instead of fat, I think I love the word she used, chubby. Faliq, you are not alone. And Sasi, up your game. Recommendations that I've noted is only one. Eye going away from camera. I think the evaluator meant eye contact. And Scrum, I have just Googled up for the definition. What is Scrum in business? Scrum is an agile approach that relies on teams, deliver products in short cycles, enabling fast feedback, continual improvement, rapid adaptation to change. Imagine, for example, a business needs to build a new product for their customers, so they work in teams. Thank you very much. That's all for my report.
Thank you very much for that very comprehensive and succinct report, Sukwa. And next, I'd like to call on Chui Ping for our timer report. Over to you, Chui Ping.
Right. Okay, let me start my timer's report. The Toastmaster of the day the meeting started at 12:30 p.m. The SAA took 1 minute and 2 seconds. Louisa, opening address by President, 3 minutes. He took 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Toastmaster of the day allotted 3 minutes. Louisa took 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Project speech speaker Cheryl, allotted time 5 to 7 minutes. She took 5 minutes and 31 seconds. For the project evaluation, Evaluator 1, Duncan,
2 minutes allotted took 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Project evaluation panelist Chong Min Poh, same time allotted 2 minutes took 1 minute and 30 seconds. Project evaluation panelist number 3, Albert, allotted time 2 minutes took 1 minute and 54 seconds. For the summation, Cheryl took 53 seconds. And the open evaluation moderated by Louisa, allotted time 2 minutes, time taken 2 minutes, 36 seconds. The table topics allotted time 15 minutes. Herlina took 12 minutes and 45 seconds. Table topics evaluation 4 minutes allotted and time taken by Sasi 4 minutes and 33 seconds. GrammAhrian and R counter duo role allotted time 3 minutes and Sook took 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And for me, the timer, I'm given 2 minutes and I've just taken 1 minute and 45 seconds. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Oh, wait, sorry, my bad. I've forgotten to give the timing for the table topics evaluators, table topic speakers, sorry. Table topic speaker, Harizah, 1 minute and 37 seconds. Ummi, 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Faliq, 2 minutes, and Aliff, 1 minute and 59 seconds. That's all for my report. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you very much, Tri Ping.